Welcome back to another episode GPPD podcast. I'm your host, KD. I'm missing my buddy, Nate. I know he's taking care of some things at the house. Hurry back. I know what he's doing, so he would probably say, I'm going to hurry back. All right, so today we get to sit down with Officer Dakota. Bro, I appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely. Appreciate having me.
We're going to fly around the conversation. So with me, bro, I'm telling you, I'll be all over the place, so just bear with me for about an hour.
It's all right.
So before we get started, couple things. I know for a fact we are looking for detention staff members. So GrandPrairiePolice.org. Please get online, fill out the information. So it's kind of like becoming a police officer. I bet they have thick packets also.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm not going to tell you it's 30 pages, but sit down and it may take you a while. But it's worth it. So great pay. I want to say their swing days are Wednesdays. And so that way you're getting a weekend day off, even as you come in and you're brand new to detention. So that's awesome. What else? Communications, 911 dispatchers. So we're looking for great men and women, 911 dispatchers. Same thing. I know they're getting paid. I forget what their swing days are, but yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So get online, fill that out. And what's crazy is that, like with police, you can do a ride along. Also, you can do a sit along. Like you can go in and sit with dispatch. I was like, how cool is that? You know, and
sounds fun.
Yeah, and get to see what their lives and work life is all about. So, please do that. So, Dakota, we're gonna jump right in, bro. How long have you been a police officer?
Coming up on 6 years.
Holy crap, it's been that long.
Yeah,
and all here,
quick.
right?
Yes, sir.
That's freaking awesome. 6 years. So, give us a rundown on like early life. So, you know, like where you were raised, brothers, sisters, how crazy was it? You know, let us know.
So I was born and raised in southeastern Oklahoma.
Okay.
Just one sister.
Yeah.
Your normal household. My entire life was pretty much football.
Hell yeah.
My pops was strict.
Yeah.
My whole family is military. I mean, even including my sister now. But
Yeah.
which probably would have been the route I went if it wasn't for college and stuff.
Yeah.
But so we were a pretty strict household. Stayed out of trouble. Everything, you know, it was just sports. That's all I knew. So we ended up getting a scholarship. I went and played football.
Yeah, where?
Man, I was all over the place too. Committed out of high school, went to the Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
Didn't take me long. I was like, man, the playbook was for me, but the whole playing there and stuff, it just wasn't for me. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'll just go JUCO route. And then I ended up switching positions and then just ended up at a D2 near Oklahoma City. So
Yeah. Let me guess. Is that southeastern Oklahoma?
that's actually where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
But the D2 I played in was in Edmonds, Central Oklahoma.
Okay. Because y'all got some pretty good football programs up there.
Yeah.
They steal them from Texas, but we won't talk about that because y'all probably had a whole roster of Texas.
We had quite a bit, yeah, especially down around this area.
Yeah,
But, yeah. So
Yeah, that's cool. What position did you play in college? Football.
safety.
Safety. See, I stayed away from people like you. I was a receiver. My job was just not let you hit me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, that's cool. So you said a whole family of military. So mom and dad military?
My mom.
or just,
I say that mom's not. I mean,
Okay.
uncles, grandparents, dad, sister. So they all are.
Yeah, and so you did a stint with Air Force. How long were you?
It wasn't long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't long. It was like under a semester.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, that leads up to the college life, and then how did you even hear about GP if you're way up there?
So, how did I get like even interested in this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
into
real.
law
with you.
enforcement
Everybody's
first.
got their thing, like, oh yeah, I want to protect the city.
Don't give me that.
Man,
Look, no
I'm gonna be
cap.
real.
Yeah.
Like my buddy, I ended up. So I went to JUCO a little late because of leaving Air Force. So
Okay.
I ended up getting in with my one buddy, and he was major in criminal justice.
Yeah.
No kidding. I asked my advisor, like, hey, give me the list of what only needs one math class. That's what I need. So,
this is my guy.
So I ended up doing criminal justice because it only needed one math class. And I really didn't know. I was still, even through high school, it was football.
Yes, sir.
Even through college, it was the same way. So at some point, my father-in-law, he's a cop up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
My wife's uncle's a trooper up in Oklahoma. So, I was with her. We weren't married, but I was with her, and I just, there's only so much stuff you can do criminal justice related.
True.
I thought about the game warden thing. I do a lot of hunting and stuff. I was like, well, I don't want to be working during season, So, man, I came home the one day, and she had about 50 applications waiting on me, and GP was one of the higher paid ones down in this area. I knew if I did it in Oklahoma, I wouldn't get paid.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to have, and there wasn't really anything tying me to Oklahoma because I'm only a couple hours away from where I'm raised and family. So just ended up coming down here. I think it was here, Mesquite, and Plano. Yeah. And it just worked out better here, quicker. So
Yeah. So at what point, because I hear you saying wife, at what point did you meet your wife? Was it up there when you got
she
here?
went to a school just right next to where I went in high school. So we knew each other. But when I went to that Colorado Springs, we knew it wasn't going to work out. Yeah. So it was like 13 hours away. So then when I ended up coming back, we ended up getting back together and staying together. So
yeah, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, we speaking of Colorado Springs, is that not the prettiest city?
No, it's beautiful.
Oh,
I love it.
Let me tell you something. I tell people, I said, man, I'm not one that's I've been all around the world. Hawaii is beautiful.
Right.
Miami, Destin, Florida. Okay, but until you go to Colorado Springs and you're up in the mountains,
it's awesome.
Oh, forget about it. All right, so that's early on. So you said she had a whole stack, and then you just kind of narrowed it down. You got to GP, and you said, okay, it's one of the higher paying jobs. But did you do a ride along at some point?
I actually didn't do any ride-alongs. I had never. First time being up there was when my first day of observation phase. Yeah. So I was like, I think we went to a theft in progress at Walmart, and I was like, let's go. I was all excited. Really, it's not that exciting, but So it was the first time, and I was like, man, I definitely wish I would have done it prior to. But it was. I actually had one of the requirements in one of my classes, like senior year, it required a shadowing thing. Yeah. But I did it. I had an in with the highway patrol up there with her uncle, so I ended up getting a deal. And there's just one thing that I never did was a ride along. So
it's funny you say that because that's what we preach. It's kind of like, all right, when you start deciding where you want to go do a ride along.
Absolutely.
And then you come in here like, man, hell no, I didn't do a ride along. You just, look, pick, and let's go.
Oh, yeah. You get to that 3 to 5 year phase into your career, you're going to be really wishing I got lucky, but if you end up somewhere, you're like, dang, I wish I had done a ride along, kind of got a feel for it. But
yeah. No, that's funny. Because, you say ride along, I didn't do one either. But here's the caveat. So I lived in Grand Prairie.
Oh, okay.
So when I was working somewhere else, I would be coming home, and I remember talking to now it's Assistant Chief Hogan. So, but he was a sergeant. So him and another officer pulled up. We started throwing the football.
Oh yeah.
And we're out in the street, and I got my uniform on because I just got off work, and so he was like, "Hey, you ever think about coming over?" And I said, "Yeah, I got some buddies over here now that want me over here," and. So I didn't do a ride along. I just talked to them in the living room for 30 minutes.
Right. They were recruiting you.
Yeah, there you go. So it was like an in-home recruiting thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I printed off the 47 pages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then went and talked to my neighbors. I'm like, man, I got to talk to my neighbors. Like, I speak to them, but they don't know me like that. But, yeah, it was cool.
I tell you, every reference, I think I talked to one of the background guys over at training, and they were like, do you have a reference that's not a coach? I was like, no.
Sir, we're athletes.
Honestly, I would prefer more life experience for this, prior to, but man, I just didn't have it. That was all I knew.
Yeah, that's funny. Nope, call this coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's a player. I played with him. But no, that's funny. All right, so that's how you got here. Now, family life here. So does your family or in-laws still stay in Oklahoma?
They're all in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So me and my little family, we're the only ones down here in Texas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, look, that's okay.
Yeah, there's times where we wish we had a little help from them, but man, they've been awesome. They still drive down. They want to see them grandbabies, so it's nice. And it's not too close, but it's just close enough. It ain't bad to just run up there on the weekends.
I was gonna say that's not a bad drive at all. What is that? Broken Bows? I think that's what we rent the cabins. And, yeah. So we go that route. We go up there every now and then. So talking about like relationships. So married with kiddos. How many kiddos?
2.
2. Oh man, you stay busy.
Oh yeah.
What the ages?
4 and 1.
No breaks in the house. I like it.
No.
I like it. It's just go, 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 go.
Oh yeah.
So how do the kids adjust to dad work schedule being called in?
Man, they're still pretty young.
Yeah.
But there's definitely been times where it's like, Daddy, you get to stay home tonight? It's like, baby, I got to go to work, but I'll be home in the morning, And then sometimes I know I'm home. And I tell her, I got to go work. She's like, you stay home tonight? All right, baby, I'll stay home tonight just to get, just to make her feel good. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, they're fine with it. And so I'm still on nights, and I'll switch. If we got something going on, like driving up to Oklahoma or something, I could stay awake now. I don't stay awake too long, but I could stay awake long enough to like switch that schedule back to day shift schedule for the weekend. So
So nights A or B?
B.
Okay. Yeah. I keep looking at that hat. Jesus. Okay. So first off, make sure I know the cameras can see it. Yeah. He walks in with a San Fran hat on. And I just wanted to take it and kind of step on it a little bit, but
he told me no hats were allowed.
Yeah. So you're a San Fran supporter.
So, I know how it looks.
Oklahoma, though.
I know how it looks. It looks like a bandwagon almost, but
let's talk about it.
So I've got a picture saved in my phone because I always get bandwagon questions. My dad was born and raised in like northern Wisconsin, so they were all Packer fans, and he was the rebel. And he's like, "Man, I'm gonna roll with Montana and Jerry Rice and all them." So from my entire life, I know nothing else. My baby pictures in Steve Young jerseys, so I've just been a diehard Niner fan. We're diehard too. So.
I was gonna say, look, and I'm the same way. Even though right now I want to fuss about the Cowboys, but no, I rock them. I'm gonna rock with them. Yeah, damn 49ers. All right, so you got the kiddos here. So how's the wife then with the schedule? Because, and I asked that, like my wife was like, are you going to go to days as soon as possible? That's always the question. Yeah. We're having to hire so many that I think on average, the Rooks are on nights for 2 years. Was that your case?
Yeah, I could have been days for probably 3.5 years by now.
Yeah.
I enjoy nights, but yeah.
Well, true officer. For real, it's like, and I tell people, it's like almost treat days because you got 2 different types of officers. You got those that they want to learn the job first before they kind of slow down, quote unquote, go to days.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then you got the ones that are going to take, no, nights is where it's at. We're running and gunning. Yeah. And you're going to learn how to be an officer. Because as soon as y'all log on, I'm sure the call load that's when it's stacked.
Yeah, and we can knock it out pretty quick. Nights B is a little bit better, in my opinion, with the call load because we're not working that Friday and, every other Saturday. But, for the most part, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you clear the board by 11 o'clock and start doing your own thing, so...
Yeah, and when we say, because I know we have some listeners that aren't police, when we say clear the board, we're talking about just the calls holding. So when you call 911, they're going to prioritize these calls. So the officers, we log in, and we can look and say, okay, 10 calls holding, And like you said, now you just knock them out. It's always good to be on a shift where you have those go-getters. Yeah. So what is a shift running like these? Is it 15, 16, 17 officers?
Well, minimums, I believe 18.
18, yeah.
And that's normally where we're at on nights B. But no, I think full is close to 25. Yeah. But, we've been doing a lot better. flushing so many people in and out of the academy. I've seen just in those 6 years. I mean, the staffing has gotten better.
Yes.
I mean, as far as the being on minimum, I mean, there was a few years back where it was like 17, 18 every night.
Every night, yeah.
So,
With
I mean,
skeleton
it has
crew.
gotten better. I mean, we've been pushing anywhere from 20 to 23, I think, every night for the last.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Okay, and so for those that don't know what that correlates to, that means you can take a lunch. You schedule lunch.
Yeah.
And so here, different than I know some cities, these guys you're able to work out, on your lunch if you want to, and get a little bit longer lunch.
Right.
So look, I'm not gonna pat GP on the back, but that's one of the things we do different.
Oh yeah. It's nice.
So it's nice. But yeah, that staffing thing, and then you could also, this is probably the most important thing, you can take your vacation. So you can, hey, Sarge, I need off on this day.
Yeah.
We're going up to Oklahoma, going hunting. I've heard the horror stories in other cities. I won't say names, but, it's like, man, I can't take off. And I'm maxed out on my vacation time, which means I don't accumulate any more time. So you're giving time back to the city, but you're being penalized because if you go in and ask for time off.
Yeah. That's brutal.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like, come on over here, bro. That's what I want to say. So if you're listening, come on over to GP. But anyway, that's cool. All right. So let me ask you this: now that you're pushing, or you have 6 years, what else is it that you want to do? Are you an FTO?
I am.
Oh man, talk about that, because that's field training officer, meaning we put the rookies in his hands. How is that? Because I can't let somebody drive my car.
That's probably been my biggest thing. I mean, and I'm it's also having to learn to let them mess up at times. Not, on like exigent or imminent things, that are like officer safety things in a sense, but certain things, it's like, I know this is going to build time onto our report. It's like, I got to let them make that mistake so that they remember making that mistake, and they, once we fix it, they'll remember it next time. So that's hard, I mean, and it could be something as simple as like, you take a theft report, it's like, how much that phone cost? Well, you need it for a report. Well, I don't say nothing. We drive off, and then they're sitting there, and I'll ask them once they do the report, like, did you not, how much does the phone cost, And they're like, I don't know. Did you ask? What is it? Probably that. I said, how do you know that for sure? Now what are we talking? So, then they end up calling, and, they remember it every time after that.
Yeah, that is such a KD bonehead move. It's like, hey, man, did you get the phone? No, I thought you got it. What we do, we'll Google in a minute. What kind of phone was it? Let me look.
Google everything.
Yeah. I'm going to go with this price. No, call them and ask them, because, it could be different.
Right.
That's funny. Yeah, I would like to do the FTO thing, but, man, to sit there and let somebody else drive. Like, I can deal with all of the other things, like you saying, I'm going to let you screw up, and we're going to learn, we're going to type this report. But, man, when it's, hey, that's a code 3 call. All right, we need to get there. And then you start grabbing them handles. And it's like, watch the car. And then my heart rate, high blood pressure, here I come.
No, but the pursuits, they stress me out. Take some years off my life.
Yeah. Man, we terminate every one of them. That officer will go to the next training officer, and they're like, man, I was with KD, and we didn't drive over 30. Damn right you didn't.
You're safe, though. It's a safe 30.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges when it comes to FTO that you can put out there?
Challenges.
Yeah. What is it that you would say, okay, well, I see this in the last 2 rookies, so, something that we could talk about?
Man, I feel like one thing, and again, I ain't going to act like I'm older than I am. I mean, I'm not old, but times have changed, and you can tell that talking to people just does not come as natural, easy, and I understand, like, probably back in the day, I mean, when you're working in that capacity, it's probably harder to talk to someone wearing a bat, anyways. But you tell somebody just go talk to them in a gas station, not even nothing to do law enforcement related, and they freeze up. That's one, challenge is like, you just got to basically make them talk to as many people as they can.
Yeah.
I'll watch, and, I've worked the same area for a long time, so I'm familiar with a lot of the people up there that, roam the streets, whether they're good or bad. And whether I know him or not, if we pass him, I'll tell him, hey, let's go talk to him.
Yeah.
And sometimes I know, like, this dude's not going to want to talk to us, you know.
I can see it. Dakota's like, hey, that guy right there, go talk to him. What? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What for? What is there a violation? Oh, no, just go talk to him.
Yeah.
All right. What do I say? I'm going to stand here. I'll stand here. I'll watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. And then, you know, first let's put out where we are, what we're doing, right? And it's like, oh, yeah. All them little things, though, they slowly start to remember it, though.
Yeah. When we're talking about making contact with whoever for whatever, I always said the social media is not helping us because kids nowadays,
absolutely,
like my kid, this is them all day. I'm gonna sit at home and, Mom, I need more time on my phone. You know, I still don't know what that is and how she loads it. Hey, kudos. You better be glad Mama here. Cause
my 4, I hadn't got to that yet. I only got a 4-year-old and one, so luckily,
just wait.
I'm not looking forward to it. Though.
Yeah, because I didn't buy my 8-year-old a cell phone. Somebody else bought it. And boy, he can whip that thing, that cell phone, and Mama, I need more time. Can you give me 2 hours? I'm like, bro, you've been on that cell phone for 2 hours. Like, turn it off. Yeah. Go outside. I'm like, social media is spoiling our kids, and as the old folks say, ruin them. The kids.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So now I have to ask. So, are you a softball player?
I am.
All right, let's talk about it. Yeah,
Former. Former.
Okay, so, and I don't even know the whole story, but that's why you're here. So, he says he's a former softball player. Let me hear the story. What happened?
Man, I just got to learn not to be too competitive.
Okay, so weekend warrior. You go out, you have
I
softball
laid
game?
out for a ball, and, man, I got bad shoulder already. So, yeah, it's I messed it up a little bit. I'm on the downhill, though. I'm good now.
Okay, so when was this?
End of July.
Oh, recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a little fracture. It's good.
So is that a little fracture?
Yeah.
Torn rotator cuff. I'm fine. So is that a PD softball team, or this is just something you was doing?
It was just something I was doing.
Yeah.
So yeah. I ended up I had surgery on the same shoulder playing ball my senior year.
Yeah.
So it was already kind of messed up, but I guess the rotator cuff did its job because it stayed intact, and I guess it pulled hard enough. Yeah. It caused the top of my humerus to fracture all the way at the top. I knew something went right afterwards, but
holy crap!
I'll stick to golf from now on.
Yeah. And what's your wife say when you got home? You're like, babe, get the kids up. We're going over to the emergency room. For what?
Well, no. I tried to stick it out because, like I said, I've had shoulder issues for a while, so
yeah.
I tried to stick it out, but wearing that vest for so long and stuff, I was just like, man, first off, this is an officer safety thing. I shouldn't be out here. And I was like, plus 12 hours of wearing that vest, just pulling down on it. I was like, I better go to the doctor. Yeah.
So in high school, I broke. I had a class 2 separation, shoulder separation. So he said the bone is supposed to be like this. He goes, yours is here. Now, he says a couple of things. If you don't have surgery, we put it here. You're still going to be hurting and you need rehab. I said, well, what's the other option? He goes, we have surgery. We put it here, and it's going to be stronger than before. And I'm thinking, let's go ahead and just have the surgery because I figured I can get back into baseball fast. Bro, I was on the left field wall 330 feet out, and I could put it on a rope all the way to home plate.
Really? It was stronger, huh?
I'm like, bionic arm. I appreciate it, Doc.
Yeah. That's good. It worked out. I know they say that about ACLs a lot of times too, and I've seen a lot of people re-tear theirs.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I wouldn't want to come back from a ACL tear just because, like you said, if you have to go through that a second time, they always say it's worse.
Right.
And then I don't know what is it like the cartilage and I wouldn't deal with that twice. But yeah, so I was down, bro. You talking about painful? Mm-hmm. So well, I'm glad you on the up and up now.
Yeah.
As we say. Okay, so even with training, what is a funny FTO story that you have? Because I'm not gonna laugh at rookies, but because I'll go first. But it's like we all go through stuff to learn stuff,
right?
And then when you sit back, it's just like man, that's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've been in FTO, I guess, for a year now, which went fast when you're training all the time. But and I won't say any names, but he's gonna get a kick out of it. But so I had a dude. I'm fortunate enough that I'm senior enough on the shift that I get to ride one of the new Tahoes.
Okay.
So I'm kind of paranoid about letting people have my fob, my to my Tahoe.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll get out of a call, get out, lock it. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there worried the whole time, like, dang, you better lock that car. I'll remind rookies every time, did you lock it? Because that's the first thing I want to do. Well, he was a little stressed out, and we were actually pulling out of the parking lot. And it wasn't stressed out because of me. I mean, we were just leaving the parking lot out of briefing.
The police
my rookie, yeah. And I heard something slide off the center console and, like, fall back by the rifle rack or, the cup hole or something. I was like, well, it ain't none of mine. I don't know what it was, but, okay. So we went on a couple calls, and honestly, I forgot about it by then. Yeah. We ended up getting sent to a check welfare. This dude is at a gas station, and I guess up there just like causing an issue, threatening every homeless person that drives up on bike, and like threatening him that they stole his car keys.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was enough to where it's one of those things where like the call notes, you start reading the call, and even dispatch was like, good luck with this one, because this gets to be one of those. So, me, like, I'm excited because I'm like, good, he needs that experience. I want to see him work,
Yeah.
So we get out, and, man, this guy, first off, we go up, and his car's locked. No, it's unlocked. And he just didn't have the keys.
Yeah.
And this thing's got, it looked like a tornado went off. He ripped his consoles up. It's bad.
Yeah.
Bad. And I don't quite know what the dude's deal was. He wasn't drunk or anything.
Yeah.
He was just
mad, you think?
I honestly, I couldn't even tell you. Yeah. Something was off. He wasn't all there, but something was off. Yeah. And, he's, like, threatening dudes as we're sitting there. Like, not threatening, just accusing them is the right word for it. Yeah. And, guys that have rode up since we've been there, I'm just, well, he ended up, we talked to him for a while, and it's like, man, I ain't going to help you look for your keys in your car. Yeah. It looks like he'd been living out of it for a couple of weeks, and just food, everything's nasty. It's like, all right, well, we, first off, I was proud because my OIT, officer in training, he ended up getting his name. Yeah. So that's good, because a lot of times they won't even ask for a name. It's like, why not? I ask everybody for a name, It doesn't always mean they got to give it to you, but if they do, great. Yeah. So he gets his name and everything, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go run him. Run his information in the car. I was like, okay, that's cool. So I just sit here just like this. I just keep talking to the guy.
Yeah.
Well, as my OIT walks back to the car, I'm sitting here talking, and I see the dude start looking over my shoulder. I was like, what's kind of going on? So I look back, and my OIT's shining his light in the window of my squad.
Yeah.
And I said, what's going on? He said, I lost the keys. And did I tell you, this guy that we're dealing with loses it.
Oh.
They stole y'all keys too. He was like, so tell me this. He's like, if they can steal your keys, how am I going to get my keys back? And this dude is blown away that this homeless dude over here just stole both of our keys to our car. And I honestly, I kind of started laughing. I was like, man, this is one of the things you can't make up. And I told him, I was like, well, because I've always locked it with the fob. Yeah. I guess it's a habit of his. When he gets out, he locks it on the door.
Okay. Yeah.
So, which I've never done. There's kind of different, some of the older ones, newer Tahoes, they got different spots for that, so I just never really done it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, he ended up, we had to call for someone to bring a spare and do all that, but the way that dude reacted was one of the funnier things that I've seen. I was like,
that's funny.
I told him. He said, well, we're going to have to call someone for a spare. I said, yeah.
Yes, you are.
I said, but I can't call him because my phone's in the car. He's like, well, I got mine. Nah, let's use the radio. He let everybody else know. I was like, what we're doing over here.
Oh, that's a boss move. I like that. No. Fun. Use the radio. Let everybody know.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Bro, I tell you what happened to me, and this was yesterday. So driving those new Tahoes, and I've always had one that you put it in drive using the column thing. And so we're driving, And so the other officer, he was like, hey, we're going to hit the alley because we're helping Code out on an abandoned house.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, hit the alley. And I said, all right. And I always tell whoever is in passenger, I said, Marcus out. So he starts giving dispatch the address. Well, as I'm coming past the driveway, I see this kid walking out. And so I'm going, okay, throw it in park. And then I'm telling this guy, stop right there. And so I'm doing like this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm reaching for it. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then I'm going, okay, it's a push button. Yeah. So then I'm starting to push, and I'm hitting the wrong buttons. And so my car's going by, and I'm yelling at this guy, stop. But it's my Tahoe still. We're still rolling down the alley. And it was funny. And finally, it jerks in park. And I'm like, oh, crap.
Those new ones slam it in park, too.
I hate it.
It does.
I was so embarrassed. And I finally was just like, then you try to get out all tough and yeah, sit down. Yeah. Where's your ID?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so embarrassed. But it happens. To all the younger officers, I'm gonna say younger, not even rookie, but you're gonna have those stories.
Oh, absolutely.
Embrace them and just own it, and then learn from it and move on. But yeah, I was gonna tell you about I'm a lateral, so in my other department, I was just cut loose, and we had chargers. So I remember driving, and I could hear something in the back, and it was like shh. And just a steady sound. So I'm driving. Of course, you in your head, you're like, man, this is an old car. Something's wrong. Something's going. So I'm just driving. Well, I have to take somebody to CDC. So I'll go downtown, and you can hear shh. And at this point, I'm like, man, it's loud. But, I look back there. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's in my back seat. So, oh, well. So I keep driving. At some point, I don't know if it turned out it was the fire extinguisher. It fell over and it got caught. And so the little hose is just blowing that white stuff. And, bro, I tell you, now, you can see how I am. I'm driving, and next thing you know, all this white cloud just starts covering me.
Man.
And I'm like, I can't see. And I slam on the brakes. I pull over, and then this little guy come driving by. And, all you see is eyes and teeth. And I get out, and I'm like... He was like, hey, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, man, get out of here, man. I'm okay, man. I'm okay. And the little fire extinguisher just going off. And I was like, man, who put this in here like this? I don't know, but whoever had the car, they just threw it in there. Yeah. And it got caught, and it was just blowing. I was so embarrassed.
That's funny, too.
And it was all over my uniform.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
that stuff gets everywhere.
Oh, it was bad. So I was like, Sarge, can I go home?
That's funny.
Yeah, go change your uniform. Next time, keep it extra in your locker. Yep, sure will.
Hang up the extinguisher, right?
Yeah, there you go, because they had a little bracket for it, and I'm like, just put it in there. And
it's in there.
You'll be fine. All right, so 6 years. What else do you want to do? Are you currently in other units? Any other unit?
No, sir.
Right.
I did SWAT for a couple years and some change. I got on right at 2 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I did that, and then I had some stuff going on, like my grandpa got sick, and just some, I haven't ruled out getting back on, but I needed that time to be able to, because we're on call every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So then we have, you got practice on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and it seemed like a lot of times that practice week was on my off-call week. So I ended up, I needed to have that time to get up and see my grandpa before, he got too sick. So I got off the team, and, like I said, I don't rule out getting back on.
Yeah.
So I did that.
Yeah.
Super good. Helped me. He's like patrol officer. I mean, a ton. So, the training and everything. So I'm glad I did that. But as of right now, I like working the streets. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, if there's a spot that opened up, I mean, I've shadowed a few times up in auto theft. I mean, I really like, it's constant. I've gotten to work with a lot of guys that, are now in that unit that have, I've always been trying to find them stolens. I enjoy it. Yeah. But past that, I really, I just like answering calls. As far as being on the street, I say answering calls. I don't mind answering the calls. I just like doing my own thing on the streets, hunting, trying to get into stuff. It's a good time, so. Yeah.
So good point. So first I'll back up. So for those that are listening, so the SWAT is not a full-time position here. You would still be assigned to whatever unit.
Yeah.
But man, the SWAT y'all train, to me, is a lot like every Wednesday I think they were training or something.
I think it's every like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. So it's a lot, and then it takes a toll on your family.
Right.
You know, especially if you're like, no, I got other stuff going on. I need to get away. It's like, hey, bro, we training.
Yeah, and I mean, and they even gave me the option to take a few months.
Yeah.
You know, just I'm not the type though that's like, because I feared taking those few months and then still needing it, and I don't want to be like hanging on to that spot when somebody else could go and take that. You know.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, if I'm gonna be all in or all out, you know, I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So I just ended up getting off. But yeah, it's part time. Like it's not a full time team. So like I stayed on patrol. Even if I was off call during that week, you know, if something came out, I'm already on patrol. You know, I either cover for one of the guys that's on call, or hell, we both go, and I'm just one of the first ones there. So yeah.
Okay. And then so the SWAT got off, and then you're interested in auto theft. What would you say? Do you see? First off, what sector do you work? Is it north or south?
And I ended up changing this last 6 months, and I trained the whole time. I went to 20s, but I worked 15.
Okay.
My whole career.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, I was an 11 guy, like north 360.
Really?
I loved it.
Man, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
it's a trek getting up there.
Well, yeah. And so I used to tell, I forgot the lieutenant back in the day, but I'm like, LT, can I get a partner? Because, you know, here in Grand Prairie, when you arrest, you need a backup. And so where I come from, it was like, no, when you need to arrest, you arrest. You know, you by yourself in a dark alley, arrest.
Right.
So, but I found myself waiting for like 3, 4, 5 minutes.
That's about one of those one places that and like down like 287, you know, you wait. But
beat,
aside from that, man, people are there like right away.
Yeah, I was going to say, but the extreme very north or the very south, it was like, let's make those 2-man units because, bro, I'm telling you, I was waiting.
Oh, I'm sure.
But, man, I was going to jail like 2 or 3 times a night. It was fun.
Yeah.
I had fun doing it. All right, so I know you talked a little bit about hunting. You said something about hunting or fishing. Where do you hunt? What do you hunt? What are you using?
I deer hunt and turkey hunt, and that's all in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to sound like, I don't know, ignorant, but I don't know. So is it whitetail?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Whitetail is different than mule deer, right?
Right, yeah.
So have you hunted both?
I have not mule deer hunted. Yeah. It's normally more like, you know, Colorado.
Up north.
New Mexico, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
All right.
But we hunt the season. So it's, you know, bow season all through like October 1st all the way through January.
Yeah.
But then you've got those like black powder, like muzzleloader at the end of October.
We still do that?
Oh, man, I wish. they don't got
2023. Get that black powder.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty modernized now. They're not like it used to be. But,
okay.
Yeah, so we'll hunt that and then we'll hunt rifle. I mean, we'll do it all.
Yeah. And we eat what we kill.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't need no hate mail. Please don't send it. I'm not going to read it.
That don't mean we don't put them on the wall, though, if they're big. My wife's a trooper, man. I got quite a few of them on the wall.
We'll mount the... No, I ain't going to say that on the radio. Like, mount the head. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's not where I was
going. But, yeah, no, we're not wasting food. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm one of those country boys. I like to ride horses. But I'll tell you, no, the horse needs to be extremely trained. Because you can't put me on one that's mediocre.
Man, you know, like that Will Smith movie Hitch, when he gets like the face all, that's what I started looking like around horses, man. I can't do horses.
Oh, for real?
Oh, my face will swell up, my eyes, I'm bad.
Yeah, allergies act
So I don't do the horse thing.
Yeah, and I've never been turkey hunting, but is it best with a, what do you call it, buckshot or?
Oh, it's birdshot.
Birdshot.
12 gauge.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use smaller shotguns, but you can reach out a little bit, close 50, 60 yards if you use 12 gauge.
Yeah. And do you use the those what do you call it? Duck calls or those
turkey calls?
Yeah, turkey calls. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if they come to duck calls, but
quack quack.
They got different types. I mean, they got some easier. You know, they got some you just it's like a diaphragm, and it's just this small thing you put like at the top of your mouth.
Yeah, like the little. Okay.
Yeah.
But so now I see the little circular pads that you can.
Yeah, slate. So it's, I mean, that's just different types, and then they got a box call too. Yeah. It's just like a long box.
You don't want to be out there with me, bro. I'll be out there with my feathers on. And Katie I got
well,
it, bro. I'm gonna bring them in.
Some of these people in Oklahoma, you wouldn't want to be putting that on. You get shots fired coming at you. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, like, and I'm telling you, I like to fish, but I'm one of those. I'm gonna have some thick gloves on because it's like I have to touch it. So we just did cops and kids fishing.
Oh yeah.
So and they're like, oh, all right, we're gonna start pairing up the kids with officers, and I was like, I said, Chief, let me go with another officer because I can't touch the worm.
I'll be one of the kids.
And he was like, what? I said, I'm going to go with Lori because I can't touch the worms. She's like, okay, I'll put the worm on there. So the kid's having a good time. You know, I'm back there cheerleading. And as soon as, you know, the fish is on, I'm like, okay, let me step back. Can you help get that fish out? Like, you don't touch that fish either? Mm-mm. I just eat them. Yeah, I'm country. I just eat them.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right, bro. So let me ask you this. Of course, people always ask. I'm in community services, so whenever I'm out and about doing stuff, it's like, hey, you know, what do you recommend? Somebody that's thinking about law enforcement, you know, and I'll tell them something generic most of the time. It's like, you know, as long as your heart is in it, or you're all about serving. Mm-hmm. You know, I said, figure out what department is good for you. Go do the ride along. Yeah, and then I love the money question. Do you make a lot of money? Yes. Everybody is going to be in the general, unless you go to small cities. Small cities, something else. But like in the Metroplex, I say we're all in the same ballpark. But you need to learn the culture. Mm-hmm. You know, figure out if the scheduling is good for you, because everybody has different schedules, 8s, 10s, 12s. I had to figure out what that meant. But what advice when you know somebody's young, they see you from Oklahoma and they say, hey man, I'm thinking about joining?
Man, I mean, you kind of took my, I'd say do it right along first off. But I mean, the way social media is nowadays, we got so many people you can reach out to. You know, I see our recruiters on there often on different pages and stuff, you know, throwing the recruiting flyer out, you know, this is what units we got, pay and all that. And I know they're active on social media. Just reach out to them. Yeah. Because I know they'd be more than willing to get you set up, you know, so you can do that right along or just talk to someone. Yeah, absolutely. I know there's a lot of us that we would have no problem sitting on the phone with someone, just telling them how it is. Because, I mean, you know, and if you're a lateral, you're going to know kind of what you're wanting. But, I mean, for me, I really had, like I said, I got lucky because I had no idea. So, I mean, you'd be able to, because even if, you know, law enforcement, we might be like hurting for staffing, like trying to hire as many as we can, you know, get people in. The way we are here in Grand Prairie, it's like, if you don't got it, you don't got it. Yeah. We don't want you. Yeah. We'll run at minimum before we run at full staff, you know, a bunch of like circus running around. So yes, sir. That's, I mean, we'll keep it real with you. And that's what I mean. Reach out to people, be willing to, you know, because like, you know, you don't want to get into that 3 to 5 year spot and be like, man, this isn't where I want to be. Yeah. Because then you're just wasting time. Yeah. Nah, spot on. Do the ride-alongs, but ask the questions. And I get it. The money is important, but I'll tell people, you can come over here and get paid, but if you don't like the culture, you're going to be unhappy. So you're going to end up transferring out anyway. Absolutely. So, again, you're going to make the money wherever you go, but then, you know, check out the perks, because here we still, if you live within the city, you're going to get a take-home Tahoe. I mean, you know, that's hard to beat. Oh, yeah, man. I mean, talk about that, like the perks and equipment and all that stuff. I mean, you want to go somewhere where they take care of you, you know. I was going to say, they take care of us here. Like the shoe stipend. I was like, what? Yeah. It's time for your shoe. What do you mean? I buy my own shoe. No. We got you. Yeah. So, anyway, ask the questions. Get in here, do the ride-along. Kind of like what I said at the beginning, we have different departments. Shadow in those departments if you're thinking about, you know, coming on something else. But, yeah, so I think that's about it. We're going to close it up. Dakota, I appreciate you, my brother, sitting down with me. Hopefully it was easy, painless. Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't bad. Yeah. I appreciate y'all having me. Yeah, like 6-year vet. I like it. I like it. No, we ain't no vet yet. We're working our way there. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, until next time, we will talk at y'all a little later.